It's Shaka Ben and Mafioso, the Dundee Dakota's ninja with a nunchuck swinging behind his back, aka Shaka Black, aka Shaka Fuego, aka Shaka Flame, aka Shaka Ben, that man. And listen, this is probably the most political year, the most involved I've ever been in politics in my whole life, bro. Not even involved, but just paying attention, like letting it just be like, oh, these policies really affect. But it might be because I'm getting older and age is a good thing, but bruh, like when I start understanding politics, bro, I start realizing like a lot of shit just be misinformation. A lot of people be hella wrong, and it just be like most of the stuff be like. I feel like now it's like we're at a point in time where we got so many ways to fact check certain things. We got so many ways to check certain data, and they just refuse to because a lot of beliefs or a lot of talking points be shields for something completely different, bro. So we got Isaiah Martin, bro. I know I want to say he a Democrat, but I've seen him on TikTok a few times, bro. And he's going against 20 MAGA Republicans. And let's see how this goes, man. Let's get into it.
Of those people that are sitting in ICE detention facilities right now, how many do you think have been convicted of a violent crime?
Well, 100% because they're all illegal. And
I said convicted of a violent crime.
No, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Hi, I'm
She
Isaiah Martin.
see, it be shit like that. It don't matter if somebody was convicted of a violent crime. Nah, the way you persecute a violent crime and the way you persecute a traffic ticket is so different, bro. I'm telling you, like it does matter.
I'm a former candidate for the United States Congress, and I'm here today surrounded by 20 MAGA Republicans.
This is gonna be fun. And we got hold on and just in case let's pull up Perplexity AI, bro. Let's pull up that Perplexity in case we, cause I'm a fact check, bro. I don't just believe anybody or anything, bro. We gonna go to Perplexity, cause this right here, man. They got oh, there's that the real Perplexity. I'm about to say I can't stand when they motherfucking goddamn. I type in something and you give me two different results, bro. I don't care if they paid their little $20.
Claim is that Trump's mass deportation plan is making us less safe.
Man, they got up and tried to run up there, boy.
It's interesting that you claim that because according to the DHS, 70% of the people who have been deported so far have been criminals, either caught in the act. Yes. I'm surprised you're surprised. You ran for Congress.
He said caught in the act. I don't know. I ain't gonna lie. Lately, I've been seeing motherfuckers minding their business and they been getting treated like criminals. The claim files to the claim files to distinguish between convicted criminals and those accused of breaking the law using U.S. Immigration and Custom Enforcement data. The Cato Institute found in December 2025 that 40% of ICE bookings had not been charged with a crime. Bro, that means that every other person they pick, they just randomly targeted somebody. That's crazy. And bro said 70%. Come on, bro. See, that's why it's important.
Congress, and you don't know this?
That's what those numbers said?
That is 70%. The other 30% are people.
Bro added a whole extra 23% on that mug.
Like, went through the entire immigration process.
It'd be the same thing with the crime stats, bro. Like they just skew a lot of
and
stuff,
had
bro.
some sort of deportation detainer. So that is 700,000 people were deported like that. 1.9 million people self-deported so far.
As of January 20th, DHS says the Trump administration has deported 675,000 people in the past year, while an estimated 2.2 million have been self-deported. So people was just like, bro, I'm out of here. It ain't even worth all that, bro. I'm out of here.
That's all DHS data. It's publicly available. You can look it up. So how are you standing for criminals? Is that what you're doing right now?
Of interior removal, 70% of the people deported literally have not been convicted criminals. What are you talking about? That's according to DHS.
That's according to DHS? Where are you getting your data from?
DHS.
I seen his eye squint.
What day? This is like just
what
recently.
day?
It's from up to October or mid-October of this year.
So we're going to need a fact check on this because I literally checked yesterday.
They're not convicted.
Bro is so confidently wrong as hell. It'd be crazy.
70% of the people deported are not convicted criminals under interior.
They were people. So there were people that had either been convicted criminals,
No.
or they had, were
70
like at a stalemate because now.
Like, bro, wrong. And it's crazy how somebody will regurgitate something they heard and just believe it's fact, and it's an egregious lie. Like, that means, and the truth is, for half the people they arrest don't have criminal records. Like, come on,
You're
bro.
claiming something, I'm claiming something from the same source. So
70% of the people that have been deported under interior removals are not convicted criminals, and that is a fact.
that's not a fact.
He just denies it.
It literally is.
It's 70%. I'm telling you, I looked it up.
I think you got it upside down.
At the end of the day, it is what's happening. They literally publish the photos of everybody who's being.
Nah,
deported.
you got to think the efficiency at 70% is criminals compared to the efficiency of half of them aren't criminals is way different. That's like, are you just shooting in the dark? Basically, that made the difference from, okay, we're doing something that's necessary to we're just profiling people, and they might be criminals, they might not. But more than likely, they're criminals because they're not white. Like, that's crazy, bruh.
So I didn't
Even
realize
though
that
they've
they
been
posted
unaliving white
every single
people. I
photo.
mean,
No,
killing
they
white
publish the
people. I
majority
said
of them, yeah.
unaliving. and I'm
But
not
there's data.
homosexual.
This is I mean, you're hitting back.
You're
at me
saying
with
they
data that's-
deported hundreds of thousands of people and they post pictures of every single one.
They're not posting. See, this is what you're doing here is you're building like this false deflection around it. I
Oh, the fragility.
didn't say everybody. I said they're posting photos of people who are being deported. Yes,
So that means that they're deporting.
they're posting, bro. I don't know if you're
What did he do?
acting stupid or you're purposely just like misconstruing what I'm saying. Yeah.
But
He
here's
laughing
my
and he
argument.
done.
Under
He
Barack-
laughing and looking to the side like, the whole time, bro, wrong as hell. That's the crazy part about it.
Obama, of those that were deported,
The
under
masses
interior
are
removals,
asses.
92% of them were convicted criminals.
Oh, President Obama did institute a policy shift on the immigration enforcement that prioritized immigrants based on criminality until November 2014, nearly 6 years into his presidency. According to the Migration Policy Institute, 85% of the interior deportees had criminal convictions in that fiscal year. So even though bro lying about the numbers, right? Crazy part is, it still ain't better than Obama. And by that standard, by that metric, bro should be voting for Democrats if he wanted to be pro-immigration. That's the crazy part about it. Because low-key, Obama deported more people than Trump. This is facts. And it's like, bruh, like, bro made up a number, it's wrong. Just imagine the drop in efficiency, bro. They damn near dropped 40%. Damn near 40% in the efficiency of their immigration, whether they're prosecuting criminals or they're prosecuting non-criminals, just citizens. And then that's what I'm saying. It'd be more about something else than it is about the actual numbers, because they'd be wrong.
Of that 92%, 81% of them were considered tier one, worst of the worst per se. I think that
So he
that
was
is
actually
something that
getting the
makes it
worst of the worst
a lot more
out.
safe than literally roaming around to go get grandmas in CVS that speak Spanish or going to that construction
That's
worker
an absolute
on a job site.
That's an absolutely false narrative because that's
Well,
actually
that's
not
just what
what's
the
happening.
facts say.
How they
I mean,
fake
That's not
news.
what's
just don't
happening.
really care
That's
about
you just
While several news outlets report grandmothers being detained by ICE as well as instances of immigrants being detained near CVS stores, there's no documented instance of the two converging. ICE raids at construction sites have been well documented. Because they know the Mexicans be working construction, bruh.
see. This is common with what the left does. You guys just
The left loves
fabricate-
facts.
No,
That's kind of how that goes.
That's that again.
I hate the left versus right thing, bro. Cause he got an American pen on his business suit, but he'll spew divisive rhetoric. Like, you can't look at somebody and tell if they voted. Well, sometimes you can, but you can't really just look at somebody generally and tell if they vote left or right. It's like you're just creating the opposite. That creates division within every American, bro. And it's like when you keep going in on the left and then you're lying, there's another agenda. It's like, bro, you were lying. Basically, if you knew the truth, you wouldn't even hate the left right now, because whole time the left was more efficient at what you're supporting.
That's not what you guys do at all. What for anybody watching at home? This is what they do. They get a piece of data, they fabricate a narrative
data.
around it, and then they try to sell it to you as a truth. When in fact, this is
Bro literally just tried to convince me that he was wrong, man. Come on, bro.
More data.
And they clapping.
So
That's
data.
why you got to
I mean,
have a mind of your own.
I came here.
This is Trump's own website.
I came
don't
here
really
with
know what-
I came here with a piece of data. You
He wrong
completely
as hell.
rewrote it in real time.
No, I gave you the facts.
You completely rewrote it. I mean, I'm surprised you ran for Congress. You're one of the most disingenuous, dishonest people that I've ever met in my entire life. I was
my
literally
God,
taken
shut
aback
your
'cause I was
crybaby ass
how,
up.
Like, I looked this up yesterday. How is this guy sitting here lying so blatantly? You should be ashamed. No, seriously, dude. And I can see it in your
Bro, so passionately wrong, it's actually crazy. Like, somebody like this will actually convince you to jump off a bridge with him. And he'll be so passionate, like, no, bro, it's not going to hurt when we land, bro. Like, we're going to be totally fine. We're going to be totally fine, bro. Let's just jump, bro. And you're going to jump. And then you're going to find out what it's like to jump off a bridge. Look at this dude right here, bro. Bro looking crazy as hell, bro. I didn't even see that. Why is he looking like that, bro? Why is bro looking like that, gang?
face.
He looking at bro. That
you
was
literally just sat
crazy.
here and lied.
That was a
And
crazy.
you're like breaking
look.
down in real time.
I think
Man,
I'm doing
come on,
pretty
It's
good.
bro.
so
if I just
incredibly
had to say so
So
myself.
tell me, why are you so in favor of criminals being in this country?
I just told
man,
you that
the
70% of
tactics.
the people that Trump is supporting literally are not convicted criminals for interior removals. I mean, I don't understand what about this.
So he's just you really buy into that narrative that little grandmas are walking around. Oh my God! Oh, let's get grandma. Let's kick her out
That's
of the
literally
country.
what they're doing.
That's not what they're doing.
Man, these people crazy, bro. We really just watched 2 civilians get, you know what I'm saying, hit up by ICE, bro. And on the cool, bro, they really be like, you gotta catch these facial expressions because they be serious, bro.
One case like that.
Of what? Of
One case of the little grandma
trying
standing
to-
at the taco stand getting deported.
What I mean, you're trying
You
to-
can't cite it.
Man,
there
these
we
people
go.
be
There we
insufferable.
go. You can't cite.
Are you denying the fact?
Yo,
No,
bro,
no,
it's just
no.
steadily
I'm holding
screaming in my ear, interrupting,
you
bro.
to account because that's the narrative you're just running with, and then you can't cite a specific example.
What I'm telling you.
Again, this man is deeply disingenuous. Thank God you're out of politics. We don't need more
Shut your bitch ass up, bro.
lying politicians like you.
Shut
What we
up,
don't
bitch.
need
We
are
don't
people
need.
that-
We don't need lying politicians, bro. And he a Republican. Oh my God. This be ridiculous.
More
Come
lying
on
politicians
and
like
just
you.
go
I'm
and
running
try
for
to-
Congress too. I'm actually
running
still
for
in the
Congress?
race. Yes.
Okay.
In Hollywood, Glendale, Burbank, and Pasadena. We need people who tell the truth. We don't need liars like you.
When this episode comes
Oh
out
my
and they show the
God.
fact check and you are miserably wrong as you clearly
I'm not going to
are,
be wrong.
And they
because I
show
looked it up.
this is going to be
I know. I gotta go to the comments on this one. I have to go to the comments, bro. The first guy should never do debates at all, bro. Real time fact check, please. Like you, if you hold on, get the. Oh wait. First dude had a meltdown in record time. I knew it. I be knowing what's the moments to go down into the comments, bro. Because it's like, bro, it has actually been really wrong. You okay? They give us. I feel it's time we start doing live fact checks with the media to verify our claims. Yeah, they do need to do real time though.
really beautiful when
Because,
America gets
bro,
to
I
the
would-
fact that the
I would want to see what the look on bro face was if he figured out that, oh, I'm wrong as hell right now. Really? Because then we wouldn't have to deal with all this
person running to be
bullshit.
You're
your
looking
next
at the clock.
congressman literally cannot read data.
This guy's breaking
Because
down in real time. He's like
70%
looking at the clock. He's like, please
the
get me out of here.
I think I'm doing pretty
You looked
good.
at the clock, dude.
These
You're
are
breaking
grown
down in real
men,
time. I can
fool.
see your face is like twitching.
I think I'm just chilling
You don't seem like it.
because here's the reality.
Bro, it's dead ass
is that
chilling.
under Barack Obama, we know that we focus more on the
so
corrupt
if-
Man, he
justice
gonna interrupt, bro,
and
the
you
whole
guys just
time?
aren't. I'm sorry that the numbers don't back up what you're talking about, but that's just
They
the
literally
reality.
do. They literally do.
They
This
don't.
is just going to be just so beautiful because when they show this fact check, we're just
Yeah.
going to, I guess one of us is going to go viral over this, I guess. How can a guy be so confident in something and be so wrong?
I don't know. That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Okay. Well,
Bro
This
was
would be a great-
confident
this would be a
and
great
wrong.
fact check, I will say.
Bro got up to that bitch and
Hey,
ran.
brother.
I'm going to start saying something that might not make everyone else like me, but I actually think you've been real honest during this conversation. And so, but I want to start with, I don't know if it's 30 or 70% as y'all were debating, but even if it's 30%, shouldn't all of those 30% be deported?
Here's the problem.
Look at that look
Is
in
that
bro
ICE has
face.
a certain amount of resources. Just like, for example, police officers. we have a lot of our officers focusing on violent crime. So when it comes to the limited resources that ICE has, I would say that it would make more sense to go after the worst of the worst,
Yes.
violent terrorists that are in this country.
Cut the head off the
focused more
snake
on
and the
those
body will
folks in
fall.
Barack Obama's administration, and I think that it makes more sense to go after those folks now. Because currently what we're seeing is an ICE that's literally going to go get folks blanket across the country. It's leading to so many mistakes, like, for example, the grad student, the student that was a college student in Georgia that was literally detained in an ICE detention facility for 2 weeks, literally as a result of a mistaken identity. I don't think that that's something that keeps us more safe in this country.
So can we start with points of agreement? I think that might be
Sure.
useful. Can we, regardless of how we get there, can we agree that those 30% who got deported should have been deported?
The what? The convicted criminals?
Convicted criminals.
Yes.
Which you said is 30.
Yes.
Someone said it was 70.
Makes
whatever.
sense.
So we start there. Okay.
Yes.
So now we have to talk about the remaining, I'm going to say 70%.
Yes.
Because I believe your stat.
The 40%,
To me, it
50%.
seems that those people are
Boy, these
also
people gotta-
making our civilization unsafe because they promote a culture of lawlessness. When you have a set of person, a category of person who is by definition an outlaw, they themselves have to be afraid of the police for normal things. And they encourage their friends then to be afraid of the police for normal things. And so you create a culture where people are afraid of the police because of things that have nothing to do with them. And so when
Hold on. People don't like the police because stuff we've seen in real life, real time, bro. Like, it ain't about.
these people are
What?
around, they actually make it such that the people near them can't be pro-police. And so if you deport the people who aren't criminals themselves, but who exist as a category of outlaw, and you remove this outlaw category, you no longer have this semi-enforced law situation, and then we can move to a place where we have fully enforced law. And so I think that we both agree that
First of all, America has the strongest military in the world. One of the strongest superpowers militarily in history. What is he talking about? People know not to play with the U.S., bro. And it's like, bro, what he sound like is a witch hunt. If you know somebody who does witchcraft, you got to get rid of the witch and you got to get around the people. You got to get rid of the people around the witch because they might too become witches. It's like, bro, get off.
less
the
crime is
gas.
good, like obviously. And I think that when the best way to get rid of crime is to police crime. When you punish criminals, they stop doing crime. But you need people to believe in the police. You need people to love the police. You need people to want to be safe.
Do undocumented immigrants commit less crime than American citizens?
I think
Absolutely.
I think that's probably true. But the
So look at, bro, I be catching them and bro, look at these faces. Yes, immigrants commit way less crime than actual citizens, bro. This is a fact. Let's go to perplexity in case they don't fact check this, bro. Because immigrants do not commit a lot of crimes. Because if you got here legally, bro, why you coming out here clowning? Do immigrants commit less crimes than American citizens? Yes, multiple large-scale studies found that on average, immigrants in the United States commit crimes at lower rates than U.S.-born citizens, including both documented and undocumented immigrants. Because most of the time, if you did all that to come here, especially if you did it illegally, you really went through hell to get here. Why would you come out here to just get persecuted by the strongest military in the world? And more than likely, the reason you are seeking asylum in America is because the lawlessness in your country or the lack of structure in your country that made it absolutely impossible to make a decent or regular living or have a regular life there. Like some stuff just be common sense for real.
problem is that if they get caught up in
So if they commit less crime, then how does that fill the narrative that you're referring to?
They
For
commit-
example, imagine I'm an illegal immigrant. I'm not, but imagine that I was, and some crime happened to me. I am less likely to call the police because I'm afraid that I could get deported. And same thing if I'm in a group of people and one of us is an illegal immigrant and a crime happens, we are now afraid to call the police because of what might happen to our friend. And so this
Bro is a master of hypothetical whataboutisms, bro. Cause it's like, bro, you talking about some stuff you never seen. Like you talking about what if we had nuclear fusion and made free energy, and we went to Mars and we circled around Mars and came back to Earth, and then we brought a Klingon space being. Yeah, what if?
Category of
It
outlaw
didn't happen.
creates a culture.
You
of
wouldn't know
not
if it
believing
happened.
police.
Let's see if we can agree on this. Okay. I support making sure that we can have a strong border in our country.
Yes,
I think
sir.
that that's fair.
Thank you.
Okay. I do not
Facts.
support violent criminals in our country.
Yes, sir.
I don't think the vast majority of Americans do.
No.
I also support making sure that there's a pathway to citizenship for
I do
those
too.
that are here that are undocumented. So the question then comes, what do we do with the limited resources that ICE has in front of
Bro
us?
gotta look
I
up
personally believe
disgust
that we
on
should
his
be more
face.
focused on convicted criminals.
Yes.
Violent people that are in our country. But when we have a system in which 70% of the people that are literally detained by ICE itself are those that have not been convicted of a crime. 47% of those people have not even been charged with a crime. They're just people that around.
53% have been charged with a crime then?
What?
So 53% have been charged with a crime then?
No, that's not what I
You just said
40%
47%
of the
haven't been charged.
70%.
47%. Oh,
So
I'm
what
sorry,
percent
I'm sorry.
have been?
Yeah, 53%
So
have been
over
charged.
half are charged with a crime.
if
Man,
you
bro,
look at what the
bro,
40
bro messed up his sentence one time. He just jumping in. on
47% number before Trump got in office, it was around 10% ish.
Okay.
Right? So what I'm saying is that we should be more focused on rounding up convicted criminals in this country, people that are going to be doing things as it is.
So would you agree on giving more money to ICE to go get all the convicted criminals?
But that's not really what's happening. Right? We're
no.
already paying ICE. We're literally spending more money on ICE this year than the Spanish military is on their entire thing, and we're seeing the results.
Well, 'cause that's Spain.
Well, but I'm just saying.
That's
but,
Europe.
I want to talk about
That's Europe still.
the
I mean, but
Spanish
come on. I mean, that's an
military.
entire military.
It's not 1453.
I mean, but that's an
Like,
entire.
Bro, what is the GDP of Spain, bro? Like, Spain is not poor. It's in Europe. What is the GDP of Spain? $1.73 trillion. And they're getting richer. $1.76 trillion. He laughing at Spain like Spain is like a third world country or something, bro. You talking about Europe. You talking about the colonizers of the West and Africa. Like, you're talking about the people who colonized Latin America.
Our military, right? What I'm saying is,
I'm sure it's more than
what I'm saying.
militaries
What I'm
of-
saying. What I'm saying is that it doesn't make sense to me that we're spending all this money and 70% of the people that we're deporting, right? So at the end result, right? Not just
Right,
the folks
right.
that are detained. The
Bro
end
laughed
result
at
of the
Spain
folks that
like
we're
they
saying,
poor.
Okay, we're going to get you out of here.
Yeah.
70% of them have not been convicted.
So
of
can we
crime.
address
And
the
I think
fact
that's an
that
issue.
having a category of person who is an outlaw, who cannot rely on the police, makes the entire neighborhood unsafe?
Because what's happening in this country is that those people that are undocumented are those that commit crimes at a low rate. Here's the real thing.
Yeah, but you're not addressing what I'm
because
saying.
because here's what
You've
really
missed what I'm
because
talking about.
because here's what makes us less safe. What makes us less safe in this country is going and having someone to do these complete raids, and you go find these mistaken cases of identity in which American citizens have been detained.
Tragedies, everyone.
Every single one of them.
Every single
and
one.
those are at an increase.
All 10 of them.
That
I
makes
don't see all 10 of them. Bro, so disingenuous. Bro, look at that look on his face, bro. And it's like, what makes you less safe, bro, is giving complete immunity to somebody with a weapon. Like, you never know what that dude to do. And it don't matter because he know he not going to get in trouble for it. That's asking for a power trip to happen.
us far more unsafe than what the thing that you're talking about
All
in these
policing
policies
is
as it
always
is.
going to have mistakes, but if you want to claim that just
Those
because
situations
there are
have increased.
well, because policing has increased.
So what's happening in this country is that what you're focusing on rounding up people that have not been convicted of a crime.
Who are a
and as a result,
category of
and,
outlaw.
and as a result
Can you
of that,
address the
you
fact
lead
that
to
those
American
people make
citizens
neighborhoods
being
more
detained.
unsafe?
No, I'm
all
not gonna say that at
policing
all.
is always
He literally agreed that the crime rate is lower on immigrants. So if a small portion of immigrants who already have a small portion that they do the crime less than Americans come into your neighborhood is not going to make it less safe. Based on the numbers, it's going to make it more safe rather than an American or another citizen coming in because we're technically more dangerous. It really don't be making sense, bro. You
going
just
to
got to
have
sit
some
back and think.
accidents, and they're all terrible, and they should all not happen. But if you're going to have a system, you're going to mistake sometimes, and they're all bad, and I'm opposed to all of them. But I'm talking about, first, we agreed on the 30%, which is a huge point of agreement that I think we need to elevate. And then on the 70%, these people
And his ass
cannot
be
be
loud and wrong.
regulated by the system in the correct way. They do not trust the system in the correct way. They definitionally, by the status of who they are, make the neighborhood less
Definitionally?
safe because it makes so everybody in
We fact checking everything. I know that's not a word. I know definitionally is not a word. It might be. Damn. Look at me looking stupid. I'm cutting this out the video. I never heard somebody say definitionally is a real recognized adverb in English. It means a definition, no manner. It related to how something is defined. It must be used. It has been used since the 1940s and appears in dictionaries such as Merriam-Webster. Damn. Damn,
the
definitionally, bro.
neighborhood
Popping
can't
out
rely
big
on the police
words.
or their friend might get deported. So you have to remove these people.
That ain't even a big
in order
word.
to
He
get
popping
rid
out
of this
words that people don't use.
semi-enforced, semi-category of law. You have to do that. Can we? Do you not believe that? Do
Are you
not
saying
understand
that neighborhoods that have high percentages of undocumented people are oftentimes some of the most violent neighborhoods in cities? Is that what you're saying?
That might be the case. I'm not sure. It probably would be the
that's
case,
true at
but it doesn't. That's not what I'm
If
trying
you look
to
at
say.
cities that have
I'm
higher
saying
percentages
that-
of undocumented populations, those cities oftentimes have lower crime rates.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that was the case or which way that would go. But I'm telling you, you have to address this category of outlaw. I don't know why we're going in circles here. Do you not believe that?
I don't
Because
get the
I don't think
outlaw
that
thing.
the argument that you're making really has anything to do with the root of the issue.
The root of the issue.
The root of the
safety
issue.
of
The
America.
root of the issue is about safety.
Yes.
And if we have the
His
fact that
list
our
is-
ICE, as it stands today, is more focused on rounding up people that have not been even accused of a crime instead of violent terrorists that are in this country, violent people in America, I think that that itself makes us less safe because here's who's celebrating. The people in this country that are doing wrong because they know that people are more focusing on going to a fiesta or a grocery store or a
ass is
Home Depot or a place
hypnotized.
of work or a plant or somewhere else
You
to
think
round up
criminals are
people.
celebrating this?
I would say so because they're literally being rounded up at a lower rate.
Okay, pause. You've been voted out by the majority.
It's great to talk with you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
He was getting cooked too bad. They like, bro, you getting cooked out there. Throw in the towel. Bro ain't even got up to run.
Hi, how are you?
One of the issues that Trump mainly won on was immigration from both sides. And I find disingenuous this selective outrage to what makes it safe.
What do you mean by that?
Well, we have tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands, of children missing and not accounted for since the open borders. We have
Oh, she don't need to be on that side talking about children. Because we know they don't care about them kids, bro. Straight up. If you make excuses for the things I've been saying, you don't care about kids, bro. I ain't fucking with it.
$150 billion spent.
The U.S. Department of Government Efficiency, DOGE, cited Federation for American Immigration Reform FAIR data showing a net cost of $150 billion being paid for undocumented immigrants in the country.
From American taxpayer dollars to
150
house
billion?
and educate
a lot of money,
and
huh?
give welfare to illegal aliens. This
Like what?
takes away.
Give me an
this-
example of that.
Well, I mean, just look in New York, the $12 billion spent on housing immigrants in hotels. Just alone in California,
looking so
$23
perplexed.
billion was taken away from our educational system to support illegal
Annual
immigrants.
spending in New York City peaked at $3.75 billion in fiscal year 2024. The city expects spending to decrease by $1.3 billion in fiscal year 2020.
Is that safe for the
She said
hardworking
12
American,
billion.
for the
They be
veterans
skewing the hell
who
out these
have
numbers.
to have to wait behind illegal
The claim likely refers to a 2014 estimate for the Foundation for American Immigration Reform that cited providing education, healthcare, law enforcement, and social and government services to immigrants illegally in the state and their dependents cost Californians $25.3 billion a year. Jeez.
individuals who get fast-tracked in their
That's a
health
lot.
care. Is that safe for them? Now, I probably find agreement with you that people who want to do it the right way, there should be less bureaucracy. There should be people who want to contribute to the American dream.
There are roughly 240,000 undocumented children, 3 to 17 in California. 240,000 according to ED Trust West at $20,500 per student. That's roughly $4.9 billion per year if all students were enrolled in school.
Who are here in good faith, we want, my father's an immigrant, my grandparents are immigrants, but you have to do it the right way. And sometimes when you have such irresponsible
That dude in that jacket,
management of the
I've seen
borders,
him
as we've
before.
seen with open borders for the last few years,
So what is
there
Donald-
will be
Question.
sometimes an overcorrection.
What is Donald Trump doing to make it easier to do things the right way?
Well, he's closed the borders. That's number one.
No, that's not what I asked you. I said, what is he doing to make it easier to come across the border the right
I was
way?
just by Mexico on Christmas
Well,
time. The
he's
borders are not closed.
making new policies
Like
where,
what?
well, he has to ensure that they're actually asylum seeking.
No, that's not what I asked though. What is he doing to make it easier for the? Because you just said that you support making
Legal
it easier
immigration.
for legal immigration.
Yes,
Right? I think that
yes.
we all probably should agree with that.
Yeah.
What is he doing to advance that goal?
Well, the
But
first
no,
thing
she ain't make. Oh, I'm about to say she
you
made a
do is
funny
you
look.
have to
She looked like
cut
she from
off
Europe,
the huge drain
which
of
her technically she is.
open border policy where
That's not what I asked you.
Okay, well, again, and I think the
Can
theme
you just
here,
tell me
the
one
theme
thing-
here
one-
today
one
is well, he's
possible
shut
thing?
the borders.
That's not what I asked you.
But that's
thought
a
she was gonna
major
tell bro to
thing.
shut
You
up.
just
What
start at the root
specific
cause
thing
and
is
go
he
from
doing
there. Well,
to
I
make
mean,
it easier for people to legally come into this country.
well, I know when he was in the first term, he
I'm
had
not
the
talking-
Remain
we're
in
not
Mexico
talking-
policy. I'm not sure of the exact policies, but what he's
Nothing.
doing
So
is
nothing.
working. He has, again, you're skirting a
Nothing. If you can't name anything, you have to say nothing.
away from the issue.
So nothing.
Americans put Trump in
Nothing.
office because
So
they
if a
saw
central
if
pillar-
Kamala was still in office, we
So-
would have
so if
open
it-
Here we go.
borders.
What
and it
if-
would
so
be
what about
more
it?
unsafe.
If a central pillar to your argument is making it easier for legal immigration into this country, and you cannot tell me one specific example of anything
what
he's
I-
doing
what
for
I-
people
what
to
I
come
said
across
was-
legally,
what
then
I-
how does any
You're
of that
turning
make
my
any
words
sense?
around.
That's
I
what
do
she said.
think it should be easier for the right people to come in legal
So
ways.
then what is he doing
But-
to advance that?
But again, in the meantime, we have a big problem of
So you-
illegals, many
you
of them
don't have
criminals.
anything.
When you talk about people who talk about unsafety,
Pretty
let's
much,
talk
you
about
don't got
Lincoln
nothing.
Riley, an American who was just jogging and living her life and was brutally murdered by an illegal alien.
Mm-hmm.
Is that safe? Is that safe to let people who are gang members and nationalists and drug cartels into our country with the fentanyl
Nationalists?
crisis a real thing? Is that safe for our kids? So let's not skirt the issue.
What happened to Laken Riley, I think every American agrees was absolutely horrific. I think we can say, and it's just like, for example, when Molly Tibbetts was killed under the Trump administration by an undocumented person in this country. This happens across, and every time it happens, it is wrong, and I think we all should say that. Any person that commits a violent crime needs to be locked up, deported. We all agree with that. But here's the central problem, is that what you're focused on is rounding up people in this country that have not been convicted of a crime.
That's
that
not
does not
true.
make us more safe.
That's a blanket statement.
that's just
you're
simply the
making.
facts.
Trump has run on criminals, violent criminals first.
Let me ask
That's
you.
what
Let me
he's
let me
focused
let me
on.
ask you a question. Of those people that are sitting in ICE detention facilities right now, how many do you think have been convicted of a violent crime? Just take a guess.
I could not. I trust the Trump
Take a
administration.
guess.
I
Just
don't
throw
know.
a number.
Man,
Just take a,
bro,
what do
I
you
don't
think
care
it
what
could
you
be?
trust. What's
Well,
the number?
100% because they're all illegal, and
I
that they
said
had a
convicted
law.
of a violent
No,
crime.
it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
I said how many have been convicted of a violent
It doesn't matter.
crime?
Why have they not filed the papers? Why
I
are they
just
taking
a-
advantage
I
of the
asked
systems?
you,
It doesn't matter. All of them.
What percentage of these 100% you
Yes.
think about only
Because if they're there
only
illegally-
5% of the people in ICE detention
Federal data says so. November that in November 2025 shows 5% of ICE detainees have been convicted.
facilities today have been convicted of a violent
Are they
crime.
here undocumented?
5%.
Are they here undocumented?
5%. 5%.
Are they here
So-
undocumented?
so-
Wait.
so-
Are
so-
they
See, now,
here undocumented?
listen, if 40% of them ain't even criminals, and if 5% are violent criminals, like you sending we sending a military to American cities and they're like killing like American citizens, that technically would be committing more murders and crimes than 5% of the goddamn people in the ICE detainees system.
But
Documented.
this just screams about what people are seeing in this country. You literally believe that 100% of the people
If
in
they're
ICE detention facilities
undocumented-
have been convicted of a violent crime.
Okay,
Only
not
5%.
violent. I
No, now
said
she-
a
now she
crime,
backtracked.
that they're
A violent
undocumented.
crime.
I don't know the statistic of violent crime, but do you
I just-
understand
He
why
just
they're there
told
in
you.
the first place?
You just told me that
Okay.
number was 100%.
Okay, they're undocumented 100%. The priority we should all agree on should be violent crime first.
95% of the people in ICE detention facilities have not been convicted of a violent crime.
I don't think that's a true statistic.
That's a fact from DHS
Oh, they
itself.
always deny the truth.
I don't.
Pause. You've been voted out by the majority. Please take your seat.
It do be scary, bro. When you go from 100% to 5%, it be scary, bro. Cause it's like, so you really going around here thinking like it's that bad when it's really like, bro, like. So of course, when somebody do some drastic measures to get rid of a problem that you think is super severe and it's not, of course it's gonna come out like this.
How's it going? Martin.
I ain't gonna lie, bro in the white coat want to get up there so bad, but he just feel like he too cool to get up there and run.
It's my last
You
name.
got to get up there and run.
Great name. Awesome. So I guess on this illegal immigration point, you talked about affordability earlier, so I want to talk about that a little bit. Do you know how much the average American citizen contributes in taxes to subsidize illegal immigrants in this country?
How much?
That's $1,000 per U.S. taxpaying citizen subsidizing illegal immigrants in our country. We also talked about affordability.
Is that $956 a year? Shit, nigga lost a man. Shit, if they increase some wages, that wouldn't hurt.
You're talking about federal taxes, right?
Yes. Why are house prices so expensive right now?
We haven't built enough over the time.
Well, I mean, that's part of the reason, but I would say another part of the reason is because we've had 10 million people enter our country in the last 4 years who aren't supposed to be in our country. And guess what? When you kick out, according to the admin, 2 million people over this first year, we've had housing prices fall this quarter. Why do you think housing prices have fell this quarter?
Over the last 4
Housing
years,
prices have not
let's just say
fell.
over the last 4 years, what do you think the majority of housing inflation happened? When
COVID.
years?
Tell me.
2021, 2022, as a
Probably.
result of that?
Probably.
But we know our highest years for immigration into this country were after that.
Well-
so the results is that we saw in the time period in which we had the most illegal immigration coming into this country
Was
that was
after
not
the house
coincided
prices
with the
rise.
increase in housing prices.
Well, Sue, can you explain to me why housing prices have fell this quarter? What policy change has been brought about besides kicking out millions of people?
Because here's the root of the issue, is that when you look at, for example, what immigration as a whole, whether it's illegal immigration, whether it's legal immigration, we know that accounts for maybe 1%, maybe 2% of total housing inflation. The rest of it is the fact that we literally have not built up to the demand that we literally have
I mean,
in
I
the
agree.
country.
I agree with you on that.
That's
point.
the overarching
I mean,
point.
100% we should be building
I'm
more
pretty
houses.
So
but
that's the reason why
addressing-
housing has gone up for a long time, no matter
Sure.
what it is. No matter the facts are, in this country, we have not built enough housing.
Sure, but removing 10 million people would also do a whole hell of a lot to decrease the supply of people that are competing for housing.
Well,
wouldn't you
but we
say?
also know that that of the people that build
They
those
just wanna
homes,
clap.
50% of those people are those that are immigrants into this country. And so
American
if you
workers do those jobs.
if you go and you
Man, y'all
round
not
up
out here building them houses, bro.
these
We
people,
know them
you're also going to be
Latinos
able to
building
build
them damn
less
houses,
housing as
bro.
it currently stands.
Okay, so why have housing prices fell this quarter?
I'm
The only
making-
policy change we've had that can relate to housing
That's
prices
not true.
is people getting kicked out of our country.
That's not true. For
What
example,
federal housing policy?
for example, in the city of Austin, they use federal funds, for example,
Austin
to do
is
something
high
that
as
they
hell.
called, it was a housing initiative that they had. It led to rents declining for the first time in a long time, housing prices declining for the first time in a long time. That was because they put pro-housing policies.
Yeah,
It's the
I
exact
agree.
same
We
thing.
need pro-housing
It's the exact same thing
also
in
need to remove
Minnesota.
people
What's
who are
happening?
competing
What's
with
happening?
Americans for
What's,
the
Minnesota's
what's
pretty
happening?
expensive.
What's happening in America is that more cities are coming around to understand that the more housing that you build, the lower that leads for regular people. That's what's happening. Because if you look
Why
at, for
is he
example,
looking so
the rate
damn
of increase,
distraught?
the way that it stabilized and the way that it starts to go down, it follows a trend of more cities adopting pro-housing policies to build housing all across America. And
All right, bro. If this one do good, bro, we goddamn keep going, bro. But it's a whole lot of hodgepodge and goddamn intellect that I just goddamn, gotta regurgitate and resuscitate so we can innovate. And it's Shaka being a mafioso, the Dundada Coach Ninja with an untucked swing behind his back, aka Shaka Black, aka Shaka Bana, aka Shaka Fuego, aka Shaka Flay. You hear me? Man, we gonna come back to this, bro. It's a whole lot. It's a whole hour and 46 of just debunking facts and goddamn regurgitating facts and talking points and shit. Man, y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments down below. Make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe. Peace.